Hi, my name is Pearl Almeida. The reason I was named Pearl by my parents was because I was born in Kuwait, which is in the Middle East, and there pearl diving was a very common thing, so pearls were considered to be really precious, so that's why they named me Pearl.
My name's Sarah, and it means bringer of happiness in Arabic.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and I was named Sarah because it's a name that translates easily into a lot of Latin languages, so Spanish, Italian, Sara, Sarita, and that's why my parents named me Sarah.
Hi, my name is Keris Ekaba Bisong. Keris means the grace of God, Ekaba means fruitfulness of God, and these names are very important to me because they basically describe and say who I am.
Could you tell us your name?
My name is Keris Ekaba Bisong.
Well, my name, like the English pronunciation of my Chinese name is Yahweh, but if you pronounce it like properly, it's Wang Ya.
So my name is Saruja, so last name Nataraja.
My name is Ryan Deshpande. My first name is a Christian name. It's Irish, it means little king. My last name is a Hindu name. It means it's broken up into two parts. It's Desh is from the land, it's connected to the word Desi, which means person from the land. It's usually to describe a person from South Asia. And then Pandey comes from Pandit, which is a priest.
My parents actually built my name for, I guess it's something where they do in our culture. It's you build your name to bring good luck based on a mathematical kind of formula or
What
equation.
culture is this?
And this is Hinduism.
Pearl comes from, I was born in Kuwait actually, and there pearl diving was something that was done there, so pearls were considered really precious there, so my dad really liked the name Pearl, and so he gave me that name.
Your middle name is your father's name, and it's meant to be sort of like a pedigree. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you can trace it back. People will ask me sometimes when I go to a Somali wedding, hey, tell me your lineage, and they expect me to recite my father's name, my grandfather's name, my great-grandfather's name at them, and it creates a mnemonic to remember them by because their names connect through one another. And then my last name is my father's last name.
About a couple different names, I had my friends recommend names to me, what kind of name do you think I look like, type thing. So I had a couple in my head, and I didn't make a decision. And then on move-in day, when you pull up to the reses, there's all those res reps that are there, and they're like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Oh my god, panic, Kira!" And Kira just popped out, and that's how I became Kira.
So their names, my dad's name's Romeo, and my other mom's was Beatrice, and they were made fun of because they didn't have white names, and so my name was chosen Daniel so that it could almost fit in, but at the same time still be something that my grandparents could articulate.
Most Igbo names, names are given based on the parents' hope and aspirations for that child.
What do your names mean?
My name is Rahim. It's derived from the Quran, as they say. It means most merciful, an attribute of Allah. And my last name Aman. I guess altogether, my full name Rahim Ali Aman. My dad has taught me when it's put together, basically means the highest gift from the highest God.
Oh, wow.
And so, I think there's a significance in names.
My first name, Francisco, means freedom. Hernandez, I'm not sure of the exact meaning of it, but personally, because I know this name comes from Spain, and none of my family is from there, I know it's a product of colonialism, so it's just...
Keris means grace of God, Ekaba means fruitfulness, and Bisong, no idea.
My name is Anamthal, and my first name means a gift from God, and it's in Arabic.
Name means a lot to me. It tells me as a person that I am and how I would be someone what I mean to. And if I tend to deviate away from that meaning, I'll come to my senses that does not feel right and stuff like that. So it sets a moral standard for my own personality.
Names are very, very important. They tell you, sometimes they can tell a story, and sometimes they can, explain where you're from. Someone can say that my name is Tunde, and you're like, oh, Tunde, you're Yoruba, or someone says that yeah, my name is Ekaban. Okay, this guy is Ejagam. And so it reawakens, I mean, it's not just a name, it's cultures. For some names, it's kingship, royalty, status in society. So it's much more powerful than just a name.
Oftentimes, when you're maneuvering the world, all people see is your name. You know, if you're applying for something, if you don't have a face attached to your application or something, all you have is a name.
And it just felt like they're not putting you down on purpose, but it's almost as if they're not taking the effort to try to say your name correctly. You know, people will be like, oh, can I call you Abby? Yeah, you know, and it's like, no, you can't. Can I call you Abe? Of course not. Does my name look like Abraham to you?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, these people are making statements about who you are or what you should be and what they see you as.
Like my dad put a lot of thought into it, and like it's just like the way that people treat you based on your name. Sometimes even you fall into that, and like I fell into that where like I felt hatred and like anger towards my parents for like not giving me an English name, and I think that there's something wrong with a society where like you make people feel like that about something that's so important and so fundamental, like such a fundamental part of the person.
I guess it also defines like you as a person, like having a unique name, I guess makes me want to do like unique things, characterizes me as an individual, shapes the person I want to be. At the same time, while I'm still like growing as a person, I still have the deep roots. So I'm not a very religious person, but my name is also very religious. It comes from a very religious background. So I guess it kind of grounds me and keeps me rooted in my history.
Usually when females marry, there's a pressure to change their last name to their husband's name. Thoughts?
Interesting. My mom never changed her name. My parents are still married, and my mom, it's actually very interesting because my mom has a very Italian name, and I don't.
You take your father's name?
I took my father's name. It's not hyphenated, it's just my father's name. So I've never, I haven't really given it a lot of thought, but I think that it's a choice, and yeah, my mother did it, and so I see no problem with it at all. Yeah.
Same thing, my mother kept her maiden name, which I guess is interesting in like our culture. I see that's something that's way down the road.
I feel that even in other languages, if you go to Hebrew, if you go to native languages, when we talk, we don't just talk on the surface. We talk with meaning. But English is more, you say it, and that's the way it means. There's nothing more to it. Yeah. But in other languages, there's something behind it. There is some meaning to it.
But just generally, like working under the juridical nature of that someone else gives you, can never truly give you freedom, because you're still associating that same. You're still you're perpetuating that same oppression within the word.
I do believe that anyone who is proud of their name and takes pride in it, like, hold that name then. But if you do know the history behind it, behind your title, essentially that's what a name is, then you can also make an effort to change that name and make a true name for yourself. There are venues that you can actually change your name legally as well. So for example, even Malcolm X, he crossed off his last name because he did not consider that his last name, because he thought it was a product of colonialism also.
I would rather, if they don't pronounce my name properly, I'd rather them still treat me with respect. They could pronounce my name properly and they could still believe that I'm something, a certain stereotype, but if they pronounce my name wrong and they try and that they care, that's what matters. And like they treat me as an equal human being. I think that's what's more important.
Hi, my name is Daniel D'Angela, and the Hebrew name, the Hebrew meaning is God is my judge, but I was named Daniel because it had a good mix between sounding Italian and being able to pronounce in Italian, but also being able to pronounce in Canadian English.
Hi, my name is Izuna Anosike, and Izuna means God's wish, which is directly translated to English, meaning God's wish. And Anosike means, people are there when they want to be there.
Hi, I'm Yikern Louis. My name is actually pronounced Yikern. It's a Mandarin term for loyalty and devoted, and it is a great name for my parents to give me.